Office Citizen Services. My name is Connie. May I please get your name and telephone number?
Okay, Carmen, is this the Florida Governor's Office in Rick
This
Scott?
is the Governor's Office.
Okay, I'd like to know something. Your name is Carmen Davis?
It's not Carmen, it's Fonnie.
Fonnie Davis?
I didn't give you my last name. I didn't give you my last name.
What is your last name, Fonnie?
My last name is Rodales.
Okay, Fonnie, I'd like to know something. Do you all have somebody by the name of Warren Davis? Warren Davis?
Yes, we do have someone by the last name of Davis.
And he's been there about 12 years, right?
I believe so.
Okay. I'd like to know something. Do you ever hear those super loud car stereos in Tallahassee?
Okay.
Do you ever hear them?
Okay, go ahead with what you're saying. I can't agree or disagree with what you're saying. I need you to tell me.
No, I'm asking you a question. Do you hear those loud car stereos in traffic? Yes.
I've heard them before, sir. Can you tell me how we can help you?
Okay, all right. I'd like to know something. Have you ever heard of a show called How to Get Away with Murder on TV?
No.
Well, all right, okay. I'd like to know something. Why is it that Rick Scott has not eradicated every one of these loud car stereos, because it is his duty under Article 2, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution, that is terrorizing millions of Floridians that want to live in peace, and also under are you familiar with Chapter 14 of the Florida statutes?
I don't know all of the statutes by my head, ma'am, sir.
All right.
I don't know all of the statutes in my head, sir.
All right, okay, because Chapter 14 of the Florida statutes, how long you been with the Florida Governor's Office?
Okay, I don't have to provide you that information.
You don't have to, and yet you're a public service officer? What do you mean by that?
You're correct.
What do you mean you don't have to provide that information?
I don't have to provide your personal information, sir.
You tell me how that's personal if I'm asking you something that affects many other people. Please tell me how that's personal.
Sir, would you tell me how you need us to assist you, please?
I'm asking you a question. Why won't you give me an answer?
I'm trying to answer personal questions. Just
okay.
Now, okay? I can try to assist you in any other questions that you may have, but when you ask me for personal questions...
I'm not asking you a personal question if I'm asking you something that is affecting a lot of other people. How is that a personal question? How is that a personal question?
Please calm down, sir, okay? I haven't been able to figure out, because you haven't been able to tell me how you need us to assist you, besides you wanting to know how long I've worked here and whether or not I know how long my supervisor has worked here.
To document, to find out if somebody is qualified to answer my questions? What's wrong with that?
Okay, well, I think you should ask me your question.
Okay, Connie, I wanted to ask you, what has Governor Rick Scott done about first of all, I asked you, do you know anything about Chapter 14 of the Florida statutes? Those are the statutes that the Florida governor is under. Okay? Now, number two, I want to know why it is you admitted that you heard these super loud car stereos, and assuming that Governor Rick Scott is not deaf, he hears them himself. What is the reason why he isn't carrying out his solemn oath to protect the citizens of the state of Florida that allows these super loud car stereos to make it to where people can't even live in their homes in peace?
Well, are you being harmed, sir?
Yes, I am. I'm deprived of my rights to be able to live in my home in peace and in sleep. Yes.
Okay. Have you reported these vehicles with the loud stereos to your local law enforcement?
Yes, I have. I have tried. Okay, here's. Wait a minute. You won't even let me answer you. Do you believe in interrupting somebody? Now, okay, let me tell you who I have contacted. Many times. I've contacted Sheriff Frank McKeithen of the Bay County Sheriff's Department, 747-4700. Okay? I have tried contacting the Panama City Police Department, 872-3100. Okay? Now, you, the Florida governor, is it not a fact that you are over the whole state of Florida? Am I correct on that?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it that way, but I understand where you're coming from.
Now, I've even contacted, are you familiar with Rick Swearington? Do you know who he is?
Say that one more time?
Rick Swearington, Fonnie, I'm trying to remember your name, Fonnie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay, Rick Swearington happens to be the top cop in the Florida Department of Law Enforcement under Florida Statutes 943 of the Florida Statutes.
Okay.
Now, I want to know the reason why Rick Scott has not carried out his oath to protect citizens, that's under 876 of the Florida Statutes, and made it to where they can take and put up signs everywhere across the United States. In the state of Florida, we hear a boom car will take your car. They can close down all the shops under American Terrorist Statute under 876 of the Florida Statutes. They can take away their vehicles under 932 contraband. They put ambulance and fire department people in danger, that's under 80610 of the Florida Statutes. When they break into my home, that's 1802 of the Florida Statutes. And there's so many laws, 874 is called criminal gang signaling instrumentalities, that these boom cars do. Now, I'm trying to figure this out. If I'm not correct, today is November 12, 2015, right?
Say that one more time. I didn't hear the last part.
Today is November 12, 2015. Am I correct on that?
You're correct on that.
Now, what is the reason why the Florida governor has not eradicated every one of these loud car stereos that put ambulance and fire department people in danger? That's under 80610 of the Florida Statutes. To break into an occupied dwelling of somebody's home is 1802 of the Florida Statutes. What is the reason why Rick Scott hasn't done anything about him? Or is he somehow another...
Sir, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not able to speak on the governor's behalf, but the governor does have, the things that he not prioritizes on, but what he focuses on mostly. So I understand that you want him to deal directly with these vehicles with loud stereos, but again, I think that you should contact your local law enforcement and continue to work with them.
Oh, let me ask you something. If I've called the Panama City Police Department hundreds of times, and I've called the Bay County Sheriff's Department hundreds of times, okay? What is the reason? How many more times do I got to call? Or is the Florida Governor's Office a puppet organization where you all really don't do anything to protect citizens of their rights? Do citizens have a right to live in peace, yes or no?
Well, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to be able to...
What makes you think you need to be an attorney?
Well, because you're asking me for your rights, and I mean, I understand as a citizen what you mean, but you're asking the question more like a legal question, and I'm not able to answer it.
What do you mean by that L word? Let's talk about human suffering word. Let's not talk about that L word that basically the lawyers use to take and twist the truth into lies, okay? Now, you're with Citizen Services. How long have you been with Citizen Services with the Florida Governor's Office?
Well, again, I don't have to provide that information to you, sir.
What do you mean you don't? Now, you're saying this under perjury, 837 of the Florida Statutes. You understand that? You do not have to. You do not. Why are you called Citizen Service of the state of Florida?
Because, sir, I'm here to try to assist you, and I will address your issue. But unfortunately, you're not wanting to hear that because you've already tried doing what you've been doing correct by contacting either the sheriff's office or local law enforcement, and I'm advising you to continue to work with them, but you're not liking the response.
Oh, well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. No, wait a minute. You're Hispanic under Title IX which gave you your rights to be in that position. I find it awfully interesting. You're Hispanic. Your origin is not American. You do not speak American as your first language, but you want to take and block an American who's trying to protect other Americans? You want to explain that one to me?
I think that you should hire an attorney if you want to talk about statutes.
You got broken English. How the hell did you get that position in the first place? You can't even speak correct English, and yet you're going to block an American who's only trying to protect Americans?
Well, sir, if there's nothing else that our office can assist you with, I will terminate this call. I have other citizens that need assistance.
No, it's what you're saying. Well, I'm going to be getting this to Donald Trump, so we'll have proof that people that didn't even come from this country don't care about Americans. And I've heard them before say, no goddamn a speaker to English, okay? So what the hell are you doing in that position when you don't even help out Americans? Explain that one to me.
Okay, well, I've assisted you, and
You're a liar. You're a liar. You know that? Title IX is what gave you that right to have that position. Give me Warren Davis. Give me Warren Davis.
Okay, well, can I get your name, please?
Hey, I want your Social Security number. What do you want my name for? I'm a concerned citizen.
Well, just so I can be able to properly transfer the call to my supervisor.
Oh, you mean you can't figure out how to push the button? Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean by properly? Now, here I'm asking you.
Let him know that he'll be speaking to Mr.
A concerned citizen of many suffering Americans. That's not good enough?
Okay.